I'm with my friend Moriah, and she's been willing to chat with me over video here today. Moriah is a wife of Daniel. They've been married for 7.5 years and lives in Texas. So thank you, Moriah, for being willing to do this. And we're going to hope that Moriah's holds out. So I know creativity is something I do know about you. You make incredible things. Quilting, I think, is the thing most people know you do well. So tell me how you use creativity as an outlet. What does it do for you when you have those projects in your life?
Creativity, that is my outlet. It's probably my biggest outlet. That has been something that I have been able to just dive into and kind of get lost in it and kind of forget what's going on. And it kind of helps me calm my mind down and process everything. And it also has been something that I have been able to use. The reason I started quilting was to do baby quilts for friends that were having babies. And since I am not able to have children, that has been kind of my way to still stay involved without, how do I put this? It's helping me be excited for other people's kids and not be depressed about my own situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of been my way to do what I love and show that I care and show that I love and show that I'm excited for them. And it also gives me something that I love doing to keep me from being down about the fact that I can't, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. So you mentioned infertility. That's the big reason why I wanted to interview you. I know that has been a struggle for you and your husband, and I'd love to hear a little bit more about your perspective about that. First of all, finding out about infertility and kind of dealing with those initial emotions. Can you tell us what that was like for you and Daniel first finding out?
I found out before we got married that it would be difficult. I knew, let's see, I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was 18. We met when I was 25 and got married shortly thereafter. And so I knew, because I knew what the disease was, that it would be a struggle. But I also knew that it was a possibility. People that have PCOS get pregnant all the time. I knew that mine was a more severe case, but I knew that it was still possible. And so it was a tough conversation to have when we were dating, to let him know, if we go through with this, if we keep going, there's a very good chance that we can't have kids. But it's always been, we've always been very open about it. We've always been aware that that was a possibility. I think the hardest part for us was, let's see, about 3 years ago. So we had been married for about 4 years and had not been able to get pregnant. We decided to actually go and do fertility treatments, which is awful for anybody that has ever done them. They are terrible, horrible couple of months. Your body goes through so much, and it's so many hormones that they're pumping into you, and it's crazy, and it's exhausting, and it's emotional. And to go through that and then come out in the end with not having any luck. We didn't have any luck with it. Nothing worked. And then to go back to my doctor afterwards and have her say, it's probably just not going to happen unless we do something super drastic, which we knew that we were not going to do. We weren't willing to go super drastic. It wasn't going to happen. And that was heart-wrenching because I grew up wanting to be a mom. I grew up wanting to have my family. That was just what you did. So that was a little debilitating for a while. He handled it a lot better than I did, but we kind of shut down for a while.
Yeah. So after receiving that kind of news, and then there's a real grieving process that you would need to go through. Tell me a little bit about that. How did you guys handle that individually and together? What helped? What didn't help?
We went through the grieving process a couple of times because we grieved the fact that the fertility didn't work, and then we went into trying to do adoption. Went through that process, getting licensed for that, and ultimately came out of that with a very divine answer of that's not what we are supposed to be doing. And so then it started the grieving process all over again. Going through the grieving process after fertility, we always had that outlook of, well, we can still adopt. And that kind of helped us get through that. It was difficult. We handle things very differently. Daniel is very internalized. Everything is held in. He doesn't show emotion. And I am a very emotional person. I cry at the drop of a hat. I am constantly in tears for one reason or another, happy or sad. I'm a very outwardly emotional person. And so that was difficult for us because I wanted someone to just cry with, and he just is not that person. And so, he's always been very open about talking about it, but he's just not emotional. And so I'm really lucky. I had some really good friends and family. I had a really good support system around me the whole time. There was a period after that where I had to kind of step back a little bit from the baby situation. I was able to use quilts and stuff like that to help me kind of get through stuff beforehand, but during the grieving process afterwards, I did have to stop going to baby showers for a little while. Sorry, I'm an emotional person. I don't think that we ever will finish grieving, if that makes sense. I think it's a continual thing. There's still things that I can't do. Going to church on Mother's Day and Father's Day is really difficult. Not because, I don't appreciate everybody that's in my life that has affected us, and I appreciate everybody that's currently, having their families and all of that, and I love that. But it is hard to have that reminder all day long that this is such a wonderful gift, and we can't have that. So that's something that I think we will always be grieving.
Okay, so you've mentioned baby quilts as a way to still be connected in children's lives. I know you are super involved aunt and uncle in your niece and nephew's lives, and I know personally when we lived in the same place many years ago, my oldest, when she was a baby, would not go to anyone except mom. She was not cool with anybody, and we were out one day, I needed an extra hand, and you just picked up my sad baby, and she just calmed down, and she was happy and content with you, and I was able to do whatever I needed to do, and it was like a magic moment. Like, you just have this nurturing ability with children. So tell me kind of how you view your role in being able to nurture children around you, family included.
I decided, and Daniel and I as a team, we decided that we weren't going to live life as if we have no family. And so we decided everything that we would have done with our own family, we would just do with somebody else's. So one of the things that I was super bummed about when we couldn't have kids is I couldn't get my nursery. I couldn't decorate the kids' room. So I have nieces and nephews that are over here frequently. They spend the night all the time. So they have a room at my house and it's decorated and and it has glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling, and because I wanted to do that for my kids, so I'm just doing it for them. We take my nieces and nephews on adventures. Once a year around their birthday, we try and take them on an aunt uncle adventure. I wanted to go, things I missed was going to the zoo with my kids or going to a theme park or things like that, or just taking them for a fun dinner. Something like that are things that I knew that I would miss out on. So I'm doing that with them. It has been a real blessing because we've had a lot of situations in our family that have not been ideal. And so us not having children has really freed us up to help out where we needed to help. I can take the kids for, a day or two so that mom and dad can go take care of other matters, or I can step in at the drop of a hat when things kind of fall apart and be up there and help out when needed. So that has been a blessing. Us not having to be tied to another child has opened us up for service opportunities where needed. So that's been good.
Cool. That's amazing. Well done, you guys. I always like to ask, when there's something like this that's particularly painful and difficult for the individual, how can people around you be more sensitive to this particular struggle and pain? What helps and what doesn't?
That's hard because everybody's so individualized as to what bothers them.
Sure.
I think probably the biggest thing is to ask. I've had a couple people come to me and, ask, what in this particular moment helps. And that changes very frequently. There's times where I can't do baby showers. There's times where I want to be invited and I want to be super involved. There's times where I would love to take your kid and help out and get that snuggle time. I love my baby snuggles. And then there's times where I can't necessarily do that. I think just asking and genuinely caring is probably the biggest thing. I can tell when people genuinely want to know how to help, and I am more open to them than people that are asking for the sake of asking.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you genuinely care about someone and you genuinely love them and you genuinely want to be there and help them, sometimes that's really all that it takes. It's just knowing that somebody's there for you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Moriah. I really appreciate the candidness and the openness that you've been willing to share with us. Are you ready for a question?
Yeah. All right.
All right, Moriah, what's your favorite sound?
Thunder.
Ooh, what's your least favorite sound?
Nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, that amen.
Screeching. That screeching just grates on me.
Terrible. What is your favorite word?
That one's a hard one. This is super random, but I'm gonna have to go with artichoke. It's okay. There's a reason for this.
Okay.
Have you ever had an artichoke? Have you ever eaten one?
Yeah.
So they're super ugly food. It's a super ugly food, and it literally can choke you. The hairs in the middle of the food literally can choke you, but somebody still decided to eat it. And I just have this little visualization of Artie eating this food and choking, and
Oh, that might be my favorite answer that has ever been given. So, oh, that's amazing. Okay, Moriah, what do you know?
I know struggles.
What do you want to learn?
That's a good one. I'm currently working on 2 things right now. I can quilt all day long. I can take 2 flat pieces of fabric and make a bigger flat piece of fabric. Sewing structured things like clothing and costuming and that kind of thing is so foreign to me. So that's something I'm learning. And then another super random one that I'm working on learning right now is, have you seen those giant soup dumpling videos? It's like one big giant dumpling, and then has soup inside of it, and you pop the straw in and drink the stuff out. It's super random, but I've been gluten-free for years, and so I can't just make one. So I'm trying to find a gluten-free alternative to it.
Wow.
So
cool. That sounds awesome. What scares you?
This one's a 2-part. I'm scared that we won't have the family that we want, and I'm also scared that we will.
Yeah. Even though I've never dealt with that particular struggle, that feels so real and relatable to me. Tell me about a mother that inspires you.
Oh, that one's a hard one. There's definitely not just one. I mean, my own mother is inspiring. My sisters have been through so many struggles, and they are still the most amazing mothers to their kids. I would say there's 2 that stick out. I've got a cousin who is just the most amazing mom. She is the epitome of just love all the time and just having so much fun. She's so much fun to watch with her family and all the fun that she has on a regular basis. And then I have another friend who is all about living in the moment. And if there's a rainstorm, right at bedtime, go run in the rain, because those are memories that you cherish forever. Bedtimes can come later. Running in the rain is fun now, and living in the moment is a lot of fun. So those are a couple of moms that are inspiring.
What a great reminder. We forget to have fun with our kids so often. Yeah. Moriah, what are you good at?
That one's a hard one.
Yeah, I hear that every time.
I know. I'd say I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I think there's a lot of things that I am good at, but I'm not great at anything. I love to cook. I love to quilt. I decorate cookies. If it's crafty, chances are I can do it. Yeah, I'm really good at quieting screaming babies.
That's true. That's true. We can end on that note. Thank you, Moriah.
You're welcome.